You're listening to Aviation Marketing Hangar Flying, the community for the best sales and marketing professionals in the aviation industry. You can't learn to fly just from a book. You learn from other pilots who know the tools, the skills, and the territory. Your hosts, John and Paula Williams, are your sales and marketing test pilots. They take the risks for you and share strategies, relevant examples, hacks, and how-tos. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes so you won't miss a thing.
Welcome to Aviation Marketing Hangar Flying, episode number 61, the most successful aviation marketing clients. So I'm Paula Williams.
I'm John Williams.
And we are ABCI, and ABCI's mission is
to help all you ladies and gentlemen out there sell more products and services in the aviation world.
Absolutely. We actually had somebody who was a new client ask us recently, what are some of the most common traits of your most successful clients? And I thought, you know what, that is important. And that is something worth talking about. So, that became its own topic. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Who are the people that we get the best results for and who succeed at marketing and sales with our help, and who are our favorite ones to work for, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So in response to this, you may have questions, comments, whatever you like. And if you use the hashtag #AvGeekMarketing, or if you comment on our blog or anywhere else, I will find your comments and do my best to give you a good reply, right?
Well, reply whether it's good or not.
Exactly. All right. So 3 big ideas in terms of what make our best clients. And I would say 3 things. 1, they're constant learners. 2, they are rock stars. And 3, they really like their product and their people.
Well, and number 4 from our previous podcast would be they are really good and enjoy sales.
Absolutely. And, well, nothing goes without saying, so that's absolutely right. We'll add that in as number 4. Okay, so to start with, as constant learners, these are people who consume a lot of information and they adapt based on what they learn. And I can give you some examples, like Jean Clow was quoting us some information from the 80/20 sales and marketing book that I had to go back and reread because I'd missed some pieces that he found and, was using in his marketing. And, the folks that really sink their teeth into the materials, and this is kind of part of the reason that we have what we call our insider circle, where we have a book club and we have other functions where we share information and learn from each other. Gene's one of our favorites because he is always learning and adapting based on information that he gets from us and from elsewhere as well. David Santo has been a client in various capacities for a number of years, and he absolutely insisted that we read the Blue Ocean Strategy and also read Neuromarketing. Both of those books we really enjoyed, but it gave us a really good starting place to work on some projects together, because it gave us a common vocabulary and some different ideas that we could talk about in context of what we wanted to do. Jeff Stadola, the connection there is he's the brother of Mike Stadola, who is part of our GKIC Peak Performers Group which is a mastermind group with the GKIC Glazer Kennedy Insider Circle, which is a group that we've participated with. So once again, different ideas from different industries and other kinds of things that come together that people are adapting to. And Shane Ballman with Synapse MX, he's been part of a lot of different incubator groups and learns a lot from the Silicon Valley kids that he's hanging out with and, the other really smart folks that are involved with these incubator groups. So there's lots of ways that people incorporate these new ideas into their business. And I think that's one of the big factors in being successful. What do you think, John?
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, so they're constant learners. Second thing is that they are rock stars, right?
Yep.
And what I mean by that is that they're willing to get out there and stand behind their products and stand behind their ideas, and they're willing to be the public face of their company. And what this does is, if nobody is willing to get out there and put their name and their face behind a product, it makes you wonder what's wrong with it, right?
Yep.
Exactly. So people don't trust companies as much as they used to, but they do trust people. And, so being willing to be involved with the NBAA and the Aviation Week and the EAA and the AOPA education sessions, being willing to either have your own podcast or be a guest on different podcasts and things like that, being a guest speaker or a guest writer at different events and other things, those things are really important. So a couple of things that come to mind, of course, Shane Ballman doing a lot of pitching as part of his investor group and things. He's kind of the master of the 2-minute pitch, and has become really, really good at that. David Santo, frequent guest on a lot of different podcasts and things, very good speaker with Visana and some other aviation groups. And Larry Heinbaugh has done some promotional videos and other things, willing to be the public face of his company, which is great. Matt Stewart with ACE, that's Applied Composite Engineering. He was willing and able to jump into a social media panel discussion that we had last year at NBAA and, really kind of put a face to the name and also be the public face of his company, which was wonderful. Pat Lemieux, very active with podcasts with his company, CNL Aviation and 7Jet.
Yeah.
And also with, some local podcasts in his area. So kind of a social media and podcasting pioneer in that area. So, being willing to and able to be a rock star just makes it so much easier for us to do marketing for and with you, because it gives us somebody to collaborate with, somebody to be the public face of your company, and once again, to stand behind that and to build credibility for those ideas. And the third thing, of course, is people who really like their product and their people. One example of this is Special Services Corporation. Their pilots stay with the company for an average of 10 plus years. And how unusual is that in the charter industry, John?
It's exceptional.
Most of them don't, right?
No, they don't.
Right. They have a pretty high turnover because, pilots go from company to company. Special services, I think the part of the way that they do that is by really trying very hard. And I know Doug Goldstrom, who does a lot of their work, puts a lot of effort into scheduling their pilots so that everybody gets time off. Everybody gets what's important to them as far as, their family events and other things. And, really bends over backwards for his own people, which in turn makes it so that their customers have the same pilot every time, or, one of several pilots, but still people that are known and trusted to the company and to the clients. And, that network is just about unheard of in the revolving door of charter pilots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Another one, Flight Schedule Pro. When we talked about their blog, we talked about, ways that they could write about their products and services and other kinds of things. Jason Barnes was not really interested in that. He was most interested in articles that would serve his customers and help them sell their services. His customers are flight schools and flying clubs and universities and other kinds of folks. So he put the emphasis on his customers in terms of the way that he wants his blog to be run. So, a lot of the materials that we're putting out, a lot of the effort that he expends is not in selling products, it's taking care of his folks, right?
And what a deal.
What a deal, absolutely. Last one, Centrex Construction. They help their customers publicize their buildings and get tenants. They did some joint press releases. They did a lot of meetings at the last convention. They were attending with their customers to introduce them around, to people in the aviation industry that they may not know already, and really make those connections that are good for everyone. So once again, it shows that they really, really like their product, they really, really like their people, and they're really willing to go the extra mile for them, right?
You bet.
All right, so big ideas.
There they are.
This is a podcast, John.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't like reading slides,
Fine. The 3 big ideas. 1, people who are constant learners. 2, people who are rock stars. And 3, people who really like their product and their people. Right?
Yep. So go sell more stuff.
America needs the business.
That's from Zig Ziglar, one of the best sales guys ever.
Exactly. So subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Play. And do leave us a rating and let us know what you'd like to see more or less of. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
See you next time. Ciao.
Thanks for joining us for Aviation Marketing Hangar Flying, the best place to learn what really works in sales and marketing in the aviation industry. Remember to subscribe on iTunes and leave a rating.
You know you could.